line this week, or any different position groups like that?
We're going to look at it. There's some guys that I know have the ability to play better than what we've been playing at a few positions. So competition's always open, and we're going to give some other people a real shot.
Who would be some of those guys like in that group? I mean, would like to see get a shot.
Overall, I think we need to play better there. If we'd gotten good play there, we'd be in a completely different spot. I think this year, special teams as well. It's kind of been a little bit here and a little bit there, but we got to find a left guard, and we got to play a little better at right tackle, and those are probably a couple of the spots we'll look at. But it's open competition everywhere.
You've got young guys at both tackle spots. I know Bryce played quite a bit last year. So how do you walk that balance? You're in the middle of the Big Ten slate now of wanting those guys to learn and develop on the fly, and then also understanding sort of where the line is about.
There's just got to be expectations, and when expectations aren't met, I wouldn't say consequences, but there's going to be competition and opportunity for other people. And that doesn't mean we crumple anybody up and throw them away. This is a team thing. Had a long talk with the team this morning, and I feel really bad for the guys that are doing so many things right and playing at such a high level, and a couple little pieces and a couple decisions are costing us, and it probably cost us 2 or 3 games this year. I talked to him about, I essentially got benched for part of a game my senior year, and things worked out pretty well. And I benched Adrian last year when he wasn't playing well enough, and he's playing at a elite level right now with some of the things he's doing. So that happens. That's life. And if those guys bounce back, a couple of them, that they're going to be fine. But you have two choices when something like that happens, and I hope they pick the right choice. And I think overall it's going to make us better as a unit.
Scott, what did you learn? You mentioned you got benched senior year. What did you learn from that experience?
I played with a chip on my shoulder the rest of my career, and overall, I think we're a tough team physically. We got to be a tougher team mentally. It doesn't take any physical toughness to stay set and wait for a snap count. It doesn't take any physical toughness to let go of a quarterback when the whistle blows. Those are the things that we have to make the right decision in the moment. And I think overall we're playing with a nasty attitude at a lot of positions. We need to find that nasty attitude at a couple others. And shaking things up or giving other guys opportunities hopefully will lead to that.
Are there any areas you personally put more time into, be it O-line or special teams as a head coach if they're struggling?
Yeah, I try to be around all the guys, but if we have one area that's struggling, it needs my attention, I'm going to spend more time there. So I was in a couple meetings today, this morning. Special teams meeting was tough. It was rough, but it was honest. Coach Doss did a great job. I think he got their attention. He's had their attention all year, but I think he really got their attention this morning. And I want to see guys respond. We're so close, and getting this over the hump is going to take a complete team deal, and we're all in this together. So if my attention's needed somewhere else, that's where it'll be.
I think the last year UCF, you guys averaged about 10 points each first quarter. I mean, you scored that every time. You scored 10 total in 5 games. Why do you think you guys have struggled to start well offensively?
Just talking about this year, I don't remember all the games. Talking about this year, you can't start a drive off with a quick pass and get sacked and things like that. We drive down the field and get a couple false starts. Those things kill drives. And when you're in one-score game, one more score on any of those drives matters. And I still this is a different league than UCF. Comparing this to that is apples and oranges. I've coached in a couple of leagues where there's 60 to 50 games, and that's not the Big Ten. The Big Ten, you're going to win 23-20 and 31-24 and 17-6, and possessions matter, and you can't waste them.
Similar line of thinking. Do you like the way the game is shaped up for you from a management perspective the last 2 weeks, with starting the second half with a chance to take the lead and then controlling the clock in the second half?
Yeah, I did, and we had a chance to score again on the first drive of the third quarter to score a touchdown. Didn't finish it. I I thought the guys really responded to the message at halftime. That was elite defense that we played in the second half, 15 yards in the second half, and I didn't even cross my mind that we're going to give up a punt return here. I was upset that we didn't get a first down and keep the clock moving. We should have. Should have executed a little better on a second down play. And you look up, and despite the guys doing everything right for a half of football and dominating a half of football, you get that momentum swing and take another gut punch. And that's why every single guy on the team has to, and coaches, all have to take accountability for things and do their job when they're called upon to do their job.
You talked on Saturday night about just needing to punt the ball where it's supposed to go. You don't see a lot of the double return in like that. So how much attention do you have to pay to the guy on the other side if the plan is to kick it?
No, he shouldn't even been a factor in the play. No, we got to pay attention to where the ball goes, but people do that when you have potential for rugby punt, and the punt could go anywhere, and to try to get it fielded and not let it roll. But 7-yard punts don't roll very far, and punts that miss their mark by 35 yards, we didn't have anybody over there. So, but there's 30 plays that would have won that game for us, and we can point at a few of those, and that was obviously not good. But there's other areas we can get better too.
Did you get a sense of whether Cerny mishit it or he misunderstood exactly where it was supposed to go?
No, I think he just mishit it.
Have you guys ever looked at doing 2 punt returners back there to ensure the ball gets fielded? I know you've had some trouble the last few weeks just getting balls fielded.
Yeah, when we talked about that again this week, we've done it in the past with this coaching staff. Most of the time we've done it when there's been threat of rugby and they kick it all over the field. I don't think that's the issue right now. If that's a strategy we want to go with, it can be, but we just need somebody that's going to run up and catch a ball, run back, catch a ball, field a kickoff return. I had a decision to make on the penalty after their touchdown, whether to make them kick a long extra point or try to get the field position, and decided to take the field position. Then we fumbled the kick return and started on the 19. And that hidden yardage stuff will kill you in a game. And guys heard about it again this morning. Practiced well. But there's been some situations where we practice well and then we go out and we don't do it on the field, and that's what we need to get figured out.
Your defense has taken a step forward each year that you guys have been here as a staff. What is it that you've seen, currently in a half like that either you're seeing for the first time or is sort of the next step that the group has taken?
No, I just think it's been constant improvement over there. Coach Chins and the guys have been doing great. The guys play together. They understand their responsibilities. They use each other, and they got good players. So that's been steady improvement. I think, probably slowing it down a little bit on offense has helped them too. So we're not leaving them out there as much, and that's helped the defense. But we got to execute better offensively if that's the way we're going to operate a little more. So it's a team thing on defense. It's a team thing overall.
What is it about Northwestern that they always play you guys close anytime you meet?
Well, every game in this league is close, it seems like. Everybody's so even in this league, and that's why little things matter so much. But this is a exceptionally well-coached, disciplined, intelligent team that doesn't beat itself, and you're going to be in close games with a team like that.
What's the challenge of fixing mistakes in season, whether it's personnel shakeup or whatever it might be, as opposed to doing it in camp or in the spring? What's unique about the challenge?
What's unique is it seems like every week a new problem arrives. You fix one and work on one and spend a lot of time on one, and something you haven't even anticipated comes up. Week 1 we didn't field punts very well on punt return, and then go down to Oklahoma and miss kicks, and then work a bunch on that, and then don't punt it well the next week. And sometimes you can anticipate, sometimes you have to react, and we'll do our best to anticipate. But if there's problems that come up, we're going to give them a lot of attention.
Northwestern lost a lot of guys from that team a year ago. How do they look different? What have you seen different from this team from what you saw?
They look the same. You know, they had some pretty good players. They still do. They lost some special guys. I think it's a team that probably started the year inexperienced, and you can see their improvement already through the course of this year, from game one to the game they just played. So he'll get these guys right, and they're always going to have a really good team.
A couple of night games here, back to back coming up. What kind of opportunity is there to showcase some things, and how important is that for you guys right now?
We just need to get back on the field and win. That's what we need to do. I don't care if the game's at 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon. We're so close. You know, we've been a bad team that won a few games and a pretty good team that won some and lost some. Right now we're a good team that's lost some games. And we got to get over that hurdle, and the more opportunities we get, the better. So I love this team. I love being around them every day, and can't wait for them to get another chance.
Well, your linebackers, the inside and the outside guys just playing together, maybe that whole front seven.
Yeah, and to be honest, Sam, most of them are young, so that group's really grown together. That's really what we need the offensive line to do. That's still a young group, but those guys are going to grow together, and not just 5 of them. There's 10 of them. I just need that to speed up a little bit right now. I've been really pleased with the way the front seven's played, back end too, and that group's playing together really well.
What do you feel like they're doing, those linebackers in particular, well that maybe they didn't do a couple of years ago?
It's such a fine line in football. If you're really comfortable with what your assignment and what you're supposed to do, and you have the right attitude, you can just play fast and you can go make the plays. Those guys, I think, are really secure in their scheme and where they're supposed to be, and they're flying around and having fun playing.
On the night game thing, I meant more having the chance to bring some kids in. And does that give you an opportunity to do that, to potentially get boost in recruiting because you have more time?
Yeah, Memorial Statement at night is special. I say this a bunch. We're going to have a small recruiting class this year, and so we won't have as many visitors all year as we normally do, but we're going to have some young kids and 23s and some other people that are going to be important to us at these games, and I need to put on a good show for them.
What are the primary issues right now that's keeping the offensive line from playing to its potential?
I want to see more of an attitude, more of a nasty. Right now, we talk all the time about playing with a desire to excel and no fear of failure, and you can talk that all you want, but I want to see them come off the ball and rip it and strike people and run and create some seams for the running backs to go through. Right now, I'd rather have a miss doing that than get on guys and not move anybody. I don't want to see running backs take the ball and have a wall of people in front of them. We need some crease runs. That's going to open a lot of things up. And we got to protect better. I think some of that was technique on Saturday. We're going to help them out some other ways, but generating a little more consistent run by being more aggressive and playing with good technique and protection. And we got maybe the most athletic quarterback in the country, and he still got sacked 7 times. So there's a lot to fix there, and Coach G's working hard, and so am I.
Are there any other turn man options you could explore that haven't? I remember in camp, like Sean Beckton mentioned, like Camonte Grimes or some of these young guys. There's some guys.
Guys are getting reps. Guys are getting reps all the time. When guys are ready that are young, we're going to use them. We started with Cam. Samari wasn't even really turning punts at the beginning of the year. Cam and Oliver were going to be the guys, and Oliver's been hurt, and we stopped using Cam. And kick returner Xavier was going to be our guy, and he went out at halftime. And getting some consistency back there is going to help. Just like consistency anywhere, and getting more reps is going to help.
What did you think? I know it was only one series, but you've gotten Logan in a couple games. At the end of games, let him run some offense. What did you think about him sort of stepping into the fire there?
I thought he did great. We moved the ball right down the field, got it to the 40, and jumped off sides twice. So it would have been great to see us get points there. And again, in these games, points in any of those drives wins the game. And I thought he did a good job.
What do you see from Logan meter-wise? It looks like he's ready.
He's been ready every time he's gotten a chance this year. Absolutely.
How about Oliver Martin? What's the timeline there? You hopeful that maybe he can get back to this game this week?
Yeah, he's close.
Is Xavier going to miss?
He's close.
I don't think you got Teddy in on Saturday. Is he one of the guys that you potentially could be looking at?
Hey, all hands on deck. Teddy's got a chance to compete for it just like anybody else, and there's a lot of guys that are really good athletes. Zach did an unbelievable job with that group and the whole group in the off season. We got big, strong guys that can run, and we got to play better.
You've referred to Adrian a couple times as playing outstanding. You could point to two things where he's really grown this season. What would those be?
He's taking better care of the football and making good decisions, and he's bailed us out. I don't know how many pressures we had Saturday. It was way too many, and he bails us out on a lot of things, makes great throws downfield, can run, can throw. His toughness, he went in to get x-rays on his jaw and came back out and played the way he did. Says a lot about who he is, and he's got good people around him. Running backs are running hard, and receivers are doing a good job, and tight ends are playing really well, and we got to give him a little more time to throw. And he's missed a couple easy ones, but you know, if he had time to sit back there and really pick people apart, he'd have even better games than he's having now. So we got a little better in front of him.
Anything else for Coach?
Does it surprise you that the offensive line is the thing that Nebraska was known for a long time? That it feels like it's the thing that we constantly talk about?
Yeah, and I don't want to beat these guys down. You know, this is the same group that we finished the year with last year and played really well. So I don't know what it is right now, but I got faith in these guys. They got to pick it up. They didn't play well enough Saturday, and we still should have won the game. Didn't play well enough, and we had a bunch of yards and more opportunities. So we're going to keep working with them, but we got good players with good talent, and we got to get more out of them.
Okay. All right. Thanks.